Weird Realities Network presents Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales, where we pull up a log, roast a marshmallow, and settle in as these two blondes talk spooky tales, urban legends, and classic horror icons. Exciting guests, perky blondes, and sinister tales makes this podcast as good as a double stack s'more. So let's join Bethany and Krystal as they gather around the campfire in Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales.
Happy birthday! Thank you. I was all ready for the intro, and then like your hands went up, and I'm like, "Whoa, what's happening?" We didn't discuss this.
I didn't tell you that I plan to announce to everybody that you're a year older, technically tomorrow. But
yes, thank you.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. Right? Well, thank you. Well, everyone, welcome to Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales. We're happy to be here today. We are supposed to be interviewing author George Barret. He is actually one of the authors that I met at the Wild Wild West Con. I did tag a lot of it. I tagged his book that has his link. So if you guys have any information, or if you want information on him and you want to go read his stuff, definitely click on that link right there. However, I haven't heard from him yet, so I'm not sure if something happened. But we figured while we're waiting for him to show up, and if he doesn't, that Krystal and I, we are totally fine improvising. I think that's like a staple of our show.
I think that's a staple of our lives.
I know. And then Ricky, poor Ricky had to work like all of a sudden. Like it was very, very sudden that Ricky had to work. So he's not here tonight, but you know what? We're going old school with Krystal and I with our first season. I feel like. So we figured tonight.
Welcome to the craziness.
Right.
Yeah.
We figured tonight we would just kind of improvise and talk about some of our favorite Stephen King books. So we have a plethora of books between the two of us.
Yes.
I just spit. Oh, I don't know if that was on camera.
It actually came through the camera.
It
did a little bit on my face.
Well, Londa just joined us. She goes, she missed us in a creepy way. We should block her. Londa, we need to have you on the show. That's what we got to do.
I mean, I haven't been missed in a creepy way in a while. So, I think it's about time some creepiness entered my life again.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of those Tinder people. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got fed up with all those people, and I haven't been on the dating app since like November. So I haven't had that creepiness in my life for a few months.
There you go. Londa, you help with the Tinder people? Like, can you make them stop bugging me? Is that what you do? I don't know what you're saying.
Londa's like, oh, I know how to get rid of those.
Well, I figured if I just ignored some of them, that they would stop messaging me, but they kept checking in on me. And I'm like, I don't know what to do about this. So
can you block them?
But they know where I live because some of them have been here. Yeah.
You can still block them.
Yeah, that's true. She did when I spit.
Oh. See, you spit on Londa too.
I did. I'm so sorry. It's because I'm eating trail mix. Like,
oh, no wonder you've been eating trail mix for so many days. I'm like, every time I talk to you the past couple days, you're like, I'm eating trail mix. You got a giant bag.
Big bag.
It's a huge bag.
And I'm only like, now. I've gotten to here, like every time that you've heard me and I've been eating trail mix, this is all I've gotten to. So,
yeah, the trail mix is going to last for a while.
It's going to last for a while. Well, anyway, let's get started on some of our favorite Stephen King books. I do have to say that, Krystal, you actually introduced me to Stephen King in terms of the books. Like, obviously, yeah, like I knew the whole, like I knew Stephen King. I saw the movies, but I never actually read his book until we were roommates. And you brought your collection over that you got from your brothers or something, right? Or
yeah, at that time, most of my not all, but a lot of my Stephen King books were inherited from my brother at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, at this point, that cannot be said. I've added to the collection immensely. I have most of his books, although a few I read and immediately got rid of, like Under the Dome.
See, okay. I liked Under the Dome. Not so much of like from a Stephen King book, but more of like just a book to read. If I help, does that make sense?
Yeah, I I enjoyed Under the Dome to an extent, but the ending was, and I know we've said this about Stephen King before with his endings, the ending was so horrible that it ruined the entire book for me, and I felt like I had just wasted 1,000 pages of my life. And I immediately went to the used bookstore and was like, I need to get rid of this book. Please take it.
We need to put this book under a dome. That's what we got to do.
I was like, I don't want this book anywhere near me ever again.
No, I got that, because that was what bugged me about it too, was the ending. But like we've said, that's Stephen King's thing. He's known for having horrible endings to books.
And like, not all of his endings are horrible, but when they're bad, they're really bad.
They're so bad. The TV series, I don't know if the TV series actually ended like with a conclusion or if it just got canceled.
Yeah, I don't know. I did watch, actually, I think most of the first season, but I don't think I saw anything beyond the first season. So I
liked it. I like the TV series. But man, Stephen King is just so good at making you hate characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he makes such vile characters that you just hate them so much. Londa says that she didn't read the book, but she watched the series, and I think I didn't see the end, or I don't remember. Yeah, I think it just kind of fizzled off. I don't think there was an ending.
I feel like, I kind of feel like it got canceled before they could finalize it. Let's find out.
Yeah, you look it up. Londa also says that Stephen King got her into reading, and then Coons kept me there. Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, John. Oh, that is true. There was a cable war at the time. They got rid of some channels, so maybe that was part of the.
Okay, so
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just remember the very opening.
Okay,
thing.
it did say. So it says that it ended after 3 seasons, and there was a series finale. But it was canceled. So that doesn't say.
Like, they were told probably it was going to be canceled, and they had to wrap it up real fast, I bet.
Probably. Yeah. And then if you look at this one, it says, did it have an actual ending? And okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to read this person's response to if there was an actual ending, because it's kind of interesting. So it says that this person and their wife watched every single episode of the show, never missed one, just to see how dreadful it would get. It was like they hired new writers each season, and the only qualification to be a new writer was that you had to never see any previous episode. The ending of the series was an actual ending. It was terrible, but it didn't just stop in mid-story or anything.
I wonder if they did the alien thing. I don't think they did the alien thing that was in the book.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that was just such
spoilers. So, and it's like,
okay, it's been out for a while, so.
Well, but I'm just saying that person didn't give any spoilers, so I don't know
the answer. Okay, sorry. I thought you said you didn't want to give spoilers.
No, they didn't give spoilers.
Gotcha.
I don't care. Like you said, it was years ago that it was on. So
well, and it was adorable because young Sam Winchester, the actor who played him, was in Under the Dome. There are a lot of people.
There was 4 different young Sams, so that doesn't.
The main one though, the main young Sam. He was in majority of the episodes as young Sam. Hold on, I'm gonna pull him up. You'll recognize him. But I also had the dude from Breaking Bad in there. I had a lot of people from Eureka.
I mean, there was a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
So which is another Stephen King thing. A lot of times he has a lot of characters. Not always, but
yeah,
he will have a lot of characters. The Stand has a lot of characters. The Stand is good though. I like The Stand.
Dude, I think this kid's in his mid-20s, late 20s now. So the photo of him is a full-blown adult. I'm trying to find a picture of him as a kid because that's how I know him. Let's see. Images. Here we go. Scroll down. Oh, yeah. He was also on that show that Sylvester really likes. Daybreak. Yeah. Okay. Sylvester loves that show. And after I watched it, I got to agree with him. It was actually really good. It's not a Stephen King thing. It's a tangent. But Daybreak is basically zombies, I think, take over. And he's just living his best teenager life, and he's still dealing with like teenage drama stuff because the high school kids have broken up into groups of survivalists. And you got like the jocks, and you got like the creepy kids and stuff. Like, it's actually a really funny series.
So it's like, who out of the standard high school cliques would survive a zombie apocalypse?
Pretty much, yeah. I need a photo of just this kid. Oh, okay. This is a photo of just him. Everything else was like other people too. Oh, you can see my Ring camera. Hold on.
Yeah, no, okay.
Do you see him?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he was young Sam for like majority of the series.
Or at least for multiple episodes.
Yeah. She goes, Daybreak sounds familiar. I can't ever remember what I read or watched anymore. I need to keep notes.
I actually do use Storygraph to keep track of what I read.
Oh, yeah?
And you can like set challenges to like, and I mean, it's really fun. Like, okay, it's a free app. It's so much fun. You can track what you're reading. You can set your challenge to be like, I want to read 5 books this year, or I want to read 100 books this year, however many you want. So it helps you keep track of that. And then it'll show you like your trends in what you read with like different styles of graphs. It's pretty fun.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to look this up for Londa. She's asking if that was the kid in La Brea. But scrolling through his thing, I'm not seeing La Brea. Oh, he was in Revolution. That was another good movie or good TV series.
I don't think I've even heard of that one.
That one was actually pretty neat. It was an apocalyptic, like post-apocalyptic show, but it was based off of everyone lost electricity. Like there was no more electricity at all. And they had to find out why. It ended up being like nanobots and things like that. But it lasted for like, I want to say like 5 seasons probably. And it actually had a conclusion. Yeah, it was genuinely, I think, a pretty good show. So I like that one. Anyway, back to Stephen King. So you do not like Under the Dome?
No.
I do like Under the Dome, except we both agree we don't like the ending.
Yes. Yeah.
What would be like your top 2 or 3? Because we can't say like your top book because that's an impossible question for readers. What would you say is like your top 2 or 3 favorite Stephen King books?
That's a hard question, but I think the ones that I've like reread the most would be, and they might be kind of cliche, but I don't care. The Shining, It, and Carrie. I think those are the 3 that I've probably reread the most.
I've never actually read Carrie.
It's actually, and it's a shorter novel.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 that I've probably reread the most.
Sorry. I was trying to tag Mom and Dad and it clicked on the...
I'm like, why am I hearing my voice right now? I don't like it.
Sorry.
I hate the sound of my voice. Please stop.
You have a good... You have a radio voice, but you've done radio, so like that makes sense. Oh, I tagged him in. Oh, you can see I tagged him. Sorry. There you go.
So funny.
Okay, so Carrie and The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. Although I do like that on The Shining. I do have to agree that the made-for-TV movie was much more...
It was so much better than the Jack Nicholson one. So much better.
Nothing to do with Jack Nicholson and all that. It's just they changed so many things.
And it's just a better, like it has like even though it was a made for TV miniseries, the vibe is much creepier.
Yeah.
Like it's a much creepier vibe.
Yeah. Londa put down, she goes, I'm scrambling to remember what King books I love. Duma Key was really good and creepy. I think that's the one. I love that one actually.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, they it's like technology. I always get it confused with a King book. I'm sorry, with a Kuntz book.
Okay, I'm like, we're talking about King books.
Yeah. It had like the I think it was like people were merging with technology, and then other people were like merging with animalistic stuff. Like it was a town, and a girl goes missing, and so some guy comes to the town to go look for her, or she has someone looking for her. But the like rich guy living on the hill, like tech guru guy who basically like runs the town, he's doing experiments on people, and he's slowly converting them to make them like the most perfect person. And people are reacting differently. And so some people like merge, like literally like the computer like integrates with them, or some people just become so animalistic and they become like these creatures. And then some turn into like a blob and just start accumulating and absorbing and eating everything it comes across. Like it's so weird. Okay, I gotta look it up. Is that the one?
That sounds really fun. I like it.
It is really good. But that could also be.
I have it.
I'm thinking.
I'm like, I do have that book in a box somewhere. So it is. It's a book in a box. So it is on my list, and I do need to read it. First, I need to find it. It's in a box.
Nope, it's not that book.
Well, if you figure out what book the one you were just talking about was, I'd like to read it.
I bet it's because even Londa's like, I think I read a different book.
Londa's like, yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, so Doom McKee. Edgar Fremantle. He's a building contractor. He survives a severe worksite accident. He loses his right arm. He suffers head injuries.
During his like what you just described.
Nothing like what yeah, what the heck? Like I have this book cover, so I don't know, but I don't recall that. Now I got to look up Kuntz.
Yeah, that could be a Kuntz thing too.
Well, that's why I was like, I don't know if it's Kuntz or King. Because that one was so good. I freaking love that one. Kuntz book with people turning into creatures.
People turning into blobs.
Exactly. Like, I feel like Stephen King is, because I always call Kuntz as like my fast food author, because it's like you read him and you can't put it down. Like you just read him, but you go right through. But then when you're done, and half the time you can't remember what you read. And then you got King, where it's like a full-fledged 7-course meal, and sometimes you don't want all of the meals, you know. Yeah. Londa, stop throwing books at me.
You know what? I would disagree. I could see what you're saying on a lot of Kuntz books, but one Kuntz book that has always stuck with me, although I do always get it confused with, it's like the two, I get confused on which is which, but I'm pretty sure it's Intensity is the one that's always stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Dean Kuntz novel Phantoms. That's what I was talking about. like the
different author, not even a similar title, but you know, it's totally fine.
It's not even similar either. Wait,
yeah.
It's off the side. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just nothing about it is the same.
I was way off on that.
You were way off on that. Oh, you know what? Other Kuntz. Okay, sorry. Now I'm thinking about Kuntz books. Other Kuntz books that have stuck with me: The Funhouse and The Mask.
Funhouse is good. The Mask, I think I read. What's The Mask about?
It's oh my gosh, it's been so many years since I read it, but it's I think like the girl is adopted maybe, but like it has something to do with the girl and her mom. Dang it. Now I'm like, even though it stuck with me, I'm having issues like remembering the exact details. Okay, hold on.
Well, Londa says she has both, so maybe she can tell. I guess there's an issue with us posting on Facebook here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I clicked the same thing. Like it literally gives me just one option for Facebook. So I'm not sure what's different. Dan says it's pretty clear Bethany and Krystal are 30 minutes into their gummies.
I am drinking a margarita. Thank you.
And then Mom is like, what happened to King? Well, considering how we were originally going to talk with author George Barret, I think we're doing okay keeping the conversation going.
We're flying by the seat of our pants even more than
We
normal.
are.
Like
You
we
guys are
had
nice.
a guest lined up who unfortunately wasn't able to make it last minute. We're doing what we can.
We're doing it.
But okay, so the mask it's a girl with amnesia gets adopted, but I know that like there's something creepy and goes back to her mom, and it just goes crazy. I recommend it.
Well, since you mentioned the carnival, right, by Kuntz,
The Fun House, yeah,
the Fun House, yeah. King has one called Joyland.
Yeah, so, I have not read that one yet.
I remember reading this one when I worked at Teavana, and I would be sitting in the back break room, like surrounded by all the tea. And so now every time I read this book, I like smell tea. Like
I thought you just had to like drink tea with it or something.
Nah, I just
like so now I have to have tea every time I read it.
But yeah, I actually think this is a nice one. It wasn't like a creepy paranormal one. I don't even think it was paranormal.
No, it's like it's
like a mystery.
Yeah, he has a few that are like that. I read one in that little group. It's like crime or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's I read The Colorado Kid is the one that I read of that little grouping of books.
Yeah, that one actually inspired the TV series Haven. And that was a really good TV series.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all based off that little short novel, Colorado Kid.
Okay. Yeah.
But King, he does have other stuff like Green Mile, Shawshank, those are all.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption's good. I wasn't a fan of the Green Mile.
I liked the Green Mile, but it was really sad too. Like I was
it was definitely sad. It was sad. And I can't really say what it was I didn't like about the Green Mile. I just didn't like it.
Although I gotta say, for once, he didn't kill the dog in Green Mile because there wasn't a dog, there was a mouse, and the mouse actually stayed alive.
Yeah.
So
thank you for letting some animals live, Mr. King. We appreciate it when the animals don't die.
Exactly.
Speaking of animals dying and under the dome, the death of the beaver was pretty graphic.
That was pretty graphic. Rachel, sorry. Yeah, Ricky had to work tonight. So it was a very sudden thing. So it's just Krystal and I. We're kicking it old school.
Yeah, we had multiple appearance cancellations tonight. Our guest.
I guess
our other host.
Let's see here. I don't know. I would say that my favorite Stephen King books, okay? Salem's Lot is going to be my number one.
Mm-hmm. I know you really like that one, yeah.
I love that one. I really like Desperation.
That's good. Have you read the companion one to that, The Regulators?
No.
Oh, you should read, if you liked Desperation, you should read The Regulators.
Okay. I may have, and I'm just blitzing on it. Yeah, I'll look it up.
The same characters, but a different story. And it's fun. Do it.
Londa says From a Buick 8 scared the crap out of me. What's that?
Ooh, that was a good one. Mm-hmm.
Is that a King one?
Yeah, it is.
Wait, let me put this in my Amazon list.
From a Buick 8 is good.
What's that one about?
It's about a car.
I'm guessing a Buick. Not a Cadillac.
I'm sorry. Good. I swear I haven't had any gummies. Just to
Londa's all, it's a Buick.
See, Londa's saying the same thing.
Okay, since 1979, the state police of Troop D in rural Pennsylvania have kept a secret in the shed out behind the barracks. These two people had answered a strange call just down the road and came back with a abandoned 1953 Buick Roadmaster. They knew the old car, and this one was just wrong. So this is very much like Christine, I feel like.
Well, Christine, the car was alive, and I don't think the Buick was.
Oh, this one has a family secret and a mystery that begins to stir once more 20 years later.
Yeah.
I don't know. For there's more power under the hood than anyone can handle.
Hey, I like power under the hood.
Londa's right. Tommy knockers. That was a good one.
That's a good one. I also really like, I think we actually mentioned it earlier when we were trying to figure out what we were going to do last minute. Bag of Bones.
I like Bag of Bones. Yeah. In fact, I like it so much I didn't realize I have the book twice.
Oh, that's funny.
I have a hardback and paperback.
I have it twice, but one is because one was my brother's and is falling apart.
Yeah.
And so I need to have a copy I can read. So that wasn't on purpose. Yeah, that was on purpose. And I really liked the miniseries they did on Bag of Bones too.
I think I saw it. I think so.
I mean, it was a long time ago now that it came out, but
this is so weird. There's a lot of birds on my balcony. We don't normally do the show when it's like daylight where I'm at. And so I never see outside my balcony when I'm doing the show. And there's like a lot of birds on my balcony right now.
Well, I don't think they're out there right now, but there's like a whole bunch of crows that like to hang out at, like, it's too early now because the sun isn't going to go down till like 9 o'clock. But as the sun starts to go down, they'll gather in the tree right across from my apartment and they're giving it so loud.
Londa said that she liked Bag of Bones. Dan says he saw Tommy knockers, but there's a chance it's not the same one we saw. And then Mom's over here saying the mask has Jim Carrey in it. Different mask.
Just a little bit different.
Oh yeah, Londa, the dark half. I saw the dark half. That was actually didn't have the same actor who was in the Bag of Bones series. He was originally in
I haven't seen the dark half, so I can't answer that question. Dark
half is basically because it's an author, because all of them have authors as the main characters, and it's almost like it's been, I'm gonna say it's been like almost 2 decades since I read this, but the dark half is basically like his not alter ego, because it's an entirely different person. It's almost like having a twin, but they weren't born. I think it was created, like all his evilness or something.
So kind of a different personality, but not exactly.
But it was like an entirely different person. Like it wasn't one thing within one person. It's like it's split. And you had the good one and the bad one. Kind of like a good and evil twin, I think.
So they spontaneously reproduced into 2 people?
No, it's paranormal. So there doesn't need to be any reproduction for it. Timothy Hunt.
Well, you said that they're like separate, so I'm just thinking like you had the one person and they went bloop and now they're 2 people. That's paranormal. What's not paranormal about that? People don't do that in real life.
So it says a writer's fictional alter ego wants to take over his life at any price. Yeah. But I don't know if it was like an entirely different person or if it was a split thing. It's like I said, it's been like 2 decades since I've read this book. So okay. I don't know. Rachel says an oldie but favorite is Bram Stoker, Dracula. That one's cool. I like how that one's written with not written as a novel. It's written with like articles, like newspaper articles, clippings, journal diaries, stuff like that.
I like it. It's fun to get like different formats like that sometimes.
So, Cell. I liked Cell from Steve Koontz. Stephen King.
What have you been drinking?
Actually, tonight not. I'm just really tired. No, I like Cell. I have that one.
Yeah, I've read Cell was interesting. Yeah, because it was
his version of zombies.
Yeah.
But it was zombies of like, well, it was weird. It's almost like a zombie, but then it was like a collective attack. It was never actually said it was aliens or anything or what it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever like totally established for sure.
Right.
This is what caused the cell phones to cause people to kill people.
Exactly. But they were a collective unit, though. They could communicate with each other type thing. Like a herd mentality after a while.
Yeah.
So I liked that one. That was a fun little one.
And then we were talking about from the Bachman books, because it's getting ready to be a movie, The Long Walk, which I'm surprised that it hasn't been a movie yet.
So what's that one about? Because, yeah, we were talking about it before.
So The Long Walk takes place in a dystopian world. It's a I mean, it was published was it published in the 70s? I don't know when it was published, but I mean, this book was from the 80s, so it was published a long time ago. And basically, like, so in this dystopian world, each year kids volunteer to do the long walk, and there's one winner, and they win a whole bunch of money. And of course, it's a dystopian world, so it's like everybody's poor, so like a bunch of kids are willing to do it so that their family can get the money. But you have to keep a steady pace. You have to keep walking. You have to walk at least 3 miles an hour the entire time. And if you stop, you get 3 warnings, and they will kill you. And then, like, some people just literally end up walking themselves to death.
Huh.
Yeah.
But there's only like one winner?
Mm-hmm. And the winner is the person who is still alive at the end. And of course, it's children, because that's always how competitions like that work out in dystopian world.
Hunger Games.
Like,
all those things.
Yeah.
Londa's like, no, thank you.
No, it's actually like, and it sounds like such a simple concept, and it's like, how can that be an interesting story? It's just a bunch of kids walking till they die. But it is actually like, it is.
I mean, you can encounter obstacles along the way and trying to deal with that, and then people sabotaging each other and stuff like that. So
yeah, so that's a good one, and I think that's a one that's going to be out in the theaters, like Hunger Games with tennis shoes. Yeah, and not as much. I mean, some fighting, but not as much fighting to the death.
Yeah, there was isn't there another? Let's see. I want to say that there's a TV series that's coming out, or that they're working on, but it's like a pre-it. Like a prequel.
Welcome to Derry is coming out on HBO Max this year. Yeah. So it's not based on an actual book, but it's based on Derry and Pennywise and all the stories from it. So,
well, I guess it's kind of like Castle Rock. When Castle Rock came out, it had nothing to do with a specific thing, but it just kind of collectively had
combined like elements of a bunch of different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the guy who main character in Castle Rock was the guy who played Pennywise.
Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah.
He's really good at playing really creepy.
He is really good. Okay, Londa said Misery.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, the hobbling scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Woo!
I think Kathy Bates actually had a really hard time filming that. Like, she just did not want to do that particular scene. But then when she saw it, she was like, oh, like it was much more impactful, like the way they did it. Because in the book, I don't think she breaks his legs like that. I think she does something else. Or
no, I'm pretty sure she does do that to him.
Oh, there was something different that she did, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit since I've read the book, but if she doesn't do it exactly like she does in the movie, it's still something similar, because she doesn't want him to be able to walk.
Right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. He has to make Misery come back alive for her.
She cuts them off.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
She cuts them off.
She's a spoiler.
I mean, it's not brand new. It's not brand new. If we were talking about like a new book that just came out, then spoiler alert is fair. But
yeah, It's fine.
Even if we haven't read it, it's our fault for not reading it at this point. Have you read, still talking about King, but like slightly different. Have you read many of Joe Hill's books?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. And I've noticed, like, I've started reading some of his stuff recently.
Wasn't it Sleeping Beauties? That was one of them?
I think that was when they wrote together. I'm not sure if that was with Joe Hill or with his other son Owen, because I know he wrote a book with his son Owen as well.
Okay.
Can't remember at the moment.
Can you imagine being King's kid and not wanting to be a writer? Like, I wonder if he gave him a choice.
You have to be a writer. I don't think you can force somebody to be a writer.
It's not like be a mechanic.
Yeah, it's not like everybody be a mechanic. Like, I don't know. But like something I've noticed, and like he's open about it too, is like Joe Hill definitely takes a lot of inspiration from his dad. Like he has a book, and it's a good book, called The Fireman that has like, and it's an apocalyptic book like The Stand, and it's similar size. Like the plot is different, but there's definite connections, and he like purposely draws connections between that book and The Stand.
Okay.
So it's just like kind of interesting to see, because you can like, it's very clear influence. And I'm actually reading a short story by him right now about, I think it's called Snapshot or something like that. That's about an evil Polaroid camera, which reminds me of Stephen King's short story Sundog, which has a dog. Like it's, I don't like, there's a whole thing with a Polaroid, and it's like, as you're taking pictures, it's showing this dog that's like attacking, and like, so the dog's like basically trying to come out of the Polaroid camera.
Like Cujo meets Polaroid.
Yeah, and it's really funny because I'm actually, Sundog is really scary, and I'm actually rereading Sundog right now at the same time as I'm reading the Polaroid one from his son, from Joe Hill, and like it's just really interesting to read them at the same time and like see the parallels as you're reading them. Yeah. Dude, speaking of Tabitha King, there's a book that is like she wrote that's supposed to be super crazy and insane, and I can't remember the title one at the moment, but it's also like very hard to find copies of it. And I saw a copy of it at a used bookstore one time, and it was like $65, and I was like, I can't afford $65 on one book.
That's like not Stephen King, but that's like the Fear Street books right now. They're just, it's hard to find them because everyone's buying them and then reselling them at like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you mentioned The Stand. The Stand? I'm so sorry. I'm like really tired all of a sudden.
Maybe you should be drinking some tea.
But The Stand was actually really good. And even the adaptations were pretty decent and stuff. But it was definitely different. It was supernatural, but it wasn't scary, I don't think. It was almost like a Shawshank or like a Green Mile type thing where there's some supernatural elements to it, but it wasn't like a scary shit.
Yeah, like there might be like some like horror elements to it, but it wasn't like straight up horror.
It was really good with like the good versus evil, the character build up. But once again, he's just so good at creating characters that make you want to hate that character, like bad. Like the trash man, you know, and and wasn't there one who was part of the good side and then went to the evil side or something, like betrayed someone or killed someone?
The kid, like, but he was on the good side. Like
he felt out of place the whole time.
He was on the good side because he and the girl that like used to babysit him, but he had a crush on, who was played by Molly Ringwald in the original, and I can't remember who played her in the new one. But and I don't know why I can't think of his character's name right now. If anybody can think of his character's name, you can put it in there. But It was more that he was on the good side because he wanted her. And once he realized that he wasn't going to get her, he was like, well, everybody trusts me. So now I can like mess with them. He was never good. He was just pretending to be.
Yeah. I think he just got wrapped, like he just happened to be part of the group that went to the good side, but he wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. Okay, Londa says The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I haven't read that one.
Yeah, that one's not really much of a horror one either. Like she gets lost in the woods, and Tom Gordon is like a baseball player that she really likes, and she's like a huge baseball fan and she really likes him. And I mean, there's definitely scary stuff to it because it's a little girl lost in the woods. But I wouldn't say that one's straight up horror either, but that one was good.
He's got a few others, like wasn't it like Leslie's Story or something like that?
Lisey's Story.
Lisey's Story.
Is that how you say it? That one's weird. That one, there's like she's like traveling to like a different dimension. Like, yeah. And it's so funny because like the description for that book is like, oh, this author's widow is just trying to go through his stuff and do these things, and it just makes it sound like it's a story about this sad widow, and then it's like all of a sudden she's traveling to a different dimension, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, you're like, wait, hold on. I think the other one was The Institute.
I don't think I read that one yet. That's a newer one.
I started it.
Not like super new, but newer.
Yeah, like INSTI, The Institute, novel by Stephen King. So that one I wasn't reading. It was a audiobook that I was listening to. And I remember listening to it and I was interested and like caught up in it. And then it just like fizzled out halfway through. And it's actually one of the few books that I didn't finish reading because I just didn't. It was almost like a chore to turn it back on to see what was going to happen. But yeah. I could care less what happened because it just, I don't know, it got weird. It had a really cool concept, but it just fizzled out so fast that it didn't hold my attention.
Yeah, I get that.
So, yep. But do you have any other Stephen King book?
I mean, like, other ones that I like, I assume you're asking, because yes.
Because I went through my stack.
Oh, those are all the Stephen King books that you even have?
No, I have more, but they're in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just grabbed my top.
I do literally have boxes of Stephen King books. Most of them are in boxes at the moment. That's just where they live for now. But I mean, I don't know if we're talking about like my favorites. I think we've talked about most of my favorites.
Ooh, Londa, yeah, Insomnia.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, Insomnia was good.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I read and I got the audiobook because it's just really cool to listen to. Also, like when they're talking about the little bald-headed guys and stuff like that.
The little bald-headed guys.
Yeah, that one was really good. I like that one.
I know that I saw somewhere he was talking about he thinks that his scariest book is Pet Sematary, and I disagree with that.
No.
Not that I dislike Pet Sematary.
Sorry.
I just don't think it's the scariest one.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it is.
But that just shows, like different things scare different people.
That is true.
And I like that he's able to scare himself.
I like that he says that his top, one of his top villains that he really likes is from Harry Potter. The evil
Dolores Umbridge?
Yes, Umbridge. I kept wanting to say Dumbledore, and I'm like, it's not that. I knew it started with a D.
Yeah, Dumbledore's not technically a villain, although he does some super shady stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty shady.
Dolores Umbridge, though, like a lot of people are like, she's worse than Voldemort, and I'm like, she kind of is, honestly.
Yeah, she's very just. Yeah, I don't know. Ugh. Londa said that she read Pet Sematary in one night when she was 15 or 16. It scared her so bad. But at the same time, you're like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
So
You know what scared me the most about Pet Sematary is actually from the movie. Because, like, when the little kid is, like, underneath the bed and he just goes, and, like,
I knew you were going to say that.
ah!
That and the same scene from House of Wax. Like, anytime you cut that ankle, I'm like,
And it's just like, you know, it's just like they're just like right from underneath and there's like bloop and it's like, oh my God.
oh, The Outsider. I loved The Outsider.
I don't have an opinion on it. I haven't read it or seen it yet.
Oh, it's so good. And the TV series was really good too. In which case, then we go into like Mr. Mercedes and stuff. Wasn't that's Stephen King, right?
Yes. And I've read the first book in the trilogy and I watched the first season of the show. And I found the third book in the trilogy from one of my boxes, but I can't find the second book. I guess I should go to the library and see if I can find the second book because the second book is in a box somewhere that is not known.
Those are ones that I think I used to have. And then, I just, during moves and stuff, you have to give up things. The Mist.
Mr. Mercedes was really good though. Like
it was. Yeah, their characters were so good.
Yeah.
And a couple of the characters or just one was part of The Outsider.
Was it Holly?
Yes.
She's like the breakout character from that series because she has her own book now too.
Oh, she does. Larry. Oh, Larry, I don't know who you are. They made us read and watch The Outsider movie in school back in the day. Larry, tell us about you. I don't think we've had you on before. School made you watch that? That's kind of cool.
How old? I didn't think The Outsider was old enough for people to say back in the day. Larry, how old are you? Like,
well, 19.
Or are you thinking of The Outsiders, which is not Stephen King?
Probably that, yeah, because Outsider came out in 2018.
Yeah, because there's The Outsiders, which is about like greasers.
Yeah,
that's my nephew's favorite book. He loves that book. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because the Outsider book only came out in 2018.
Larry, you're the same age as us.
Yeah.
I'm older than you.
Then you're talking about the Outsiders because The Outsider only came out in 2018. So that's not back in the day, sir. Not if you're 40. Like not trying to be mean. But very similar titles, very different books.
That is true. Okay, The Mist.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the most depressing endings ever.
I feel like it's been a while since I've read it, and I remember the ending to like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the ending in the book was different though, but I don't remember how.
I don't know.
Because the ending in the movie, like he kills. Well, maybe that is the same. He kills everybody, and then he gets rescued as soon as he's killed everybody else.
Exactly. Like literally, bam, 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 and then they're like, knock, knock, knock.
And it's like, hey, we're here to rescue you. After I just killed my kid, thanks.
I can't believe I forgot this one. Dr. Sleep. I like Dr. Sleep more than The Shining, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think I liked it more than The Shining, but I did like it.
I liked it because I loved the creatures, like the vampire aspect of it.
The like soul vampires.
Yeah. That I really liked that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think that no, never mind. Okay, sorry. Well, because I was like, but then there was some stuff that like went more with the Jack Nicholson movie than the novel. But then I'm like, no, that's just what the movie did. The movie did stuff that matched the Jack Nicholson movie since that's the more well-known of the two Shining movies.
Yeah. And
that's the quote unquote classic one, even though the miniseries is better.
We can't miss The Gunslinger. I didn't actually read that one though.
Well, I haven't read it either, so we can miss it because neither one of us has anything to say about it.
I just know a lot of people read it. Sinner.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That one was pretty intense.
I remember the first time I read that, I was like, can a gypsy curse me? I need to lose some weight.
I just want like a little curse.
Just a small curse,
Like
not a kill me curse. Just a like maybe half curse, half blessing.
Yeah. Like, can I just get like a flu bug, you know? Like a little 24-hour hex curse there.
It's like a little bit thinner.
A little bit thinner. Just a little thinner.
Not that thinner.
And then Needful Things. I can't believe I forgot about that one. I like Needful Things.
Oh yeah.
Except for, I mean, the dog. Poor Rocky. That's probably the worst dog death for me with Stephen King. So, and I do always skip over that part every single time now.
Mm. Yeah, sometimes you have to. Oh, the weirdest one. I'm not going to say this is my favorite, but the weirdest Stephen King short story, in my opinion, is The Lawnmower Man. Like, the short story, not the movie.
I didn't read that one.
Okay, so like if you've seen the movie, you don't know anything about the short story.
Okay.
So, like, the short story. So, like, this guy, he hires this lawnmower, or this guy, the lawnmower man, to come to his yard. And the guy just, like, strips naked and starts eating all the grass.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And it ends up being some, like, weird pagan weirdness. It's like, it's so weird. And it's just like, you watch it and you're just like, what kind of drugs was he on when he wrote
that? Was probably like the height of his alcoholism right there.
I do think it really was. But yeah, like, it's just, and it's not bad. It's just like so weird. And you're just like, it's so WTF after you're done. And it's a short story, so it doesn't take super long to read. You can read it in one sitting. Right? Londa knows what I'm talking about. It's just like, if you want, sorry, like, I apologize before I say it. If you want a mindfuck of a short story, Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
Apologize for the language, but that's just the best way to describe it.
Rachel saying The Leprechaun. I don't think that was Stephen King, was it?
No, I think that's just a movie.
Was just it was just a movie series. Jennifer Aniston's first movie, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people got like their first, like, you got Jennifer Aniston, Leprechaun. You've got not Kevin Costner. Oh my gosh.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes, Kevin Bacon.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Johnny Depp with Nightmare on Elm Street. No, a lot of people, their first movies were horror movies.
Yeah.
That's just very common, I think.
Oh, there's Gerald's Game. I never actually read that or watched that, but I know it got made into like a movie. Yeah,
I thought it's definitely very much more psychological, both the movie and the book. But like, oh my gosh, there's the decloving scene, both in the movie and the book. So they're hard to get through. I might cover my eyes a little bit in the movie.
Kind of okay with not having read it or watched it right now.
It's an intense scene. It's a very intense scene. Yeah, and if you don't know what decloving is.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, two other Stephen King ones that I want to mention before we get off, because we're actually at an hour now.
Hey, look at us pulling stuff out of our butts for cancellations.
11/22/63, I think, was really good.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't really watch the show. I think I saw a few episodes, but like the book was really good. And I thought it was very unique and stuff.
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't think of that one, because it's definitely like the whole, like, if you mess with time, is it good or bad?
Yeah. Very butterfly effect almost.
Yeah.
So. And then he has a book called On Writing, and it is such a good read. Like, even if you're not a writer or interested in that or anything, it's just such a really cool read. Just to follow along his life and what happened and how he got into writing and all that stuff. Sean Cheshire, I can never say his last name, but he's a fellow indie author, and he's been on our show a couple times. and he recommended that book to me. I want to say like 7-8 years ago, and I really really like that book. So
Okay.
I highly recommend that. Londa's asking, did he do the creepy blonde kid book? Are you talking Pet Cemetery? Or are you talking Children of the Corn? No, not Children of the Corn. No, wasn't there a movie?
Stephen King did do Children of the Corn. That's a short story.
Yeah, but there was
the other thing, creepy blonde kid. The other thing that I'm thinking,
Village of the Damned.
Okay, that was going to be my next thing, Village of the Damned. I don't think that's Stephen King.
Yeah,
I think the original Village of the Damned movie came out in like the 60s.
Maybe. I gotta look.
So I feel like he would have been a kid at that point, right?
Damned.
Village of the Damned. 1960. Hey. Go
Okay.
me.
You're all typing and I'm like trying to do my phone.
No, my phone's not anywhere close to me. It's charging. So my face just gets washed out while I Google. But Village of the Damned, that's a good one.
Yep.
But yeah, that's not Stephen King. Although Children of the Corn is pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, they've got like a creepy, like almost demonic aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, well, they're religious. It's like, it's very much the danger of religious zealots, but it makes them kids instead of adults. So
yeah, but it actually has like a creature in the cornfield, I think.
Yeah,
because they try to sacrifice to it and stuff.
Yeah,
very Lord of the Rings. If it was in like
rose.
Wisconsin or Iowa.
Yeah, Children of the Corn is okay. So like, I went to college in Ohio, and it was pretty rural. So cornfields, and we were like, there, like we were pretty much like a town in the middle of Amish country. So there was cornfields everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my friends that were local, they lived like out there, and I'd be like, so I'd be driving to their house, and like you're driving past these cornfields at night, and there's just random patches of fog. And I'd be like, I'm so terrified that I'm going to just my car's going to die or something out in the middle of nowhere. I did not have a cell phone at the time. Cell phones were a thing, but I did not have one. And it was the most terrifying thing. And I fully blame Children of the Corn. And she was like, I think it'd be way more scary to have your car die in the middle of a city. I'm like, no, there's people around. They can help you.
Yeah.
When you're next to a cornfield, the only thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to come out and kill you. Like,
they got to fertilize their land.
Like, have my car break down in the middle of the city any day over that.
I remember when Dad was in Desert Storm and we went back to Iowa, and my mom rented an old like farmhouse from one of her old school teachers, I think. And it had like all this land on it. I want to say there was like some trees or woods nearby, but not woods because it was Iowa, but like, trees. But maybe it was just my imagination as a kid. But I just remember lots of land. And like you said, at nighttime, I refused to look out the windows because it scared me. It was just like country dark is dark.
Country dark it's very dark.
It's dark.
Yeah. I definitely experienced some country dark this weekend because I was trying to go see the Northern Lights, but they were a no-show, and it was rude. They weren't a no-show everywhere. I just
where you went.
Yeah, just when I went, and like I think, and also because they were a no-show until like 3:00 in the morning, and
ugh.
Yeah.
We don't really get those down here in Arizona.
Yeah. It's okay.
Well, I think we did pretty good for just flying by the seat of our pants right here.
Yeah. So, any others that anybody wants to mention before we head off? Like your favorite, or even your favorite, your least favorite, the one that weirded you out the most of Stephen King? He's kind of our topic today. Just him in general.
But I mean, at the same time, I'm sorry George couldn't be on tonight.
Yeah, we'll try to reschedule him.
Yeah. We'll reach out to him, see what's going on. But I did attach his link to the promotion that we had. or not the promotion, but like, talking about the show for tonight. So if you guys want to go check them out, definitely go check them out. But yeah, we'll try to get him back on. Londa says Langoliers.
Yeah, that one. I feel like I haven't read that one in a while, but doesn't it take place like almost 100% on a plane?
Yeah, I didn't actually read it, but I saw the movie when I was younger.
Yeah.
I remember that. And you can't find that movie anywhere. Like, I actually tried to look it up not too long ago, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to find movies sometimes. I'm like, I think I was wanting to watch the original The Stand recently, and I was having trouble finding that one without having to like pay per episode on Amazon or something like that.
Well, yeah, I think we did pretty good tonight. So we don't really have a topic for our next show, which will be in 2 weeks. So
but we'll be a little bit more prepared because tonight's topic changed literally at the last second.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, maybe we can talk some campfire stories. We haven't done campfire stories in a while, and it's going to be summertime.
I know, perfect time for campfire stories.
Yeah.
So, and yeah. All right,
guys. Well, thanks for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
And happy birthday, Bethany!
Thank you. All right, bye, guys.